North Atlantic right whale deaths. What's causing it? What I think is at the root of it is Wolbachia-infected Aedes male releases that have been carried out in Brazil, Colombia, and Florida. And I believe that the larvae is being consumed by the copepod that North Atlantic right whales consume a great deal of. And I've mentioned this before, that once you've put Wolbachia into a species that's never had it before, you've changed entire ecosystems. And I wrote to Dominic LeBlanc way back in December, actually. He got back to me. I'm going to show you that. And here's the thing, he's recommending that shipping fleets slow down their vessels. Well, you know what, that's not going to help, and I'm going to tell you why. Because whales can also acquire the viruses that cause encephalitis, such as St. Louis encephalitis virus. Now, St. Louis encephalitis virus and Zika share a very close relationship phylogenetically. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that right. And Zika is much more related to West Nile as well. And as I'll show you in screenshots, if you connect the dots, what we've done here is the Wolbachia-infected Aedes male releases. Because these things keep on being maternally inherited, the Wolbachia, we're adding something into the food chain that normally wasn't there before. And these have been going on around the world for knowingly about 7 years. So here's what I think is going to happen. Sure, the ships will slow down, but that won't help. Because these whales that are becoming disoriented are probably suffering from some form of encephalitis. I would be testing them for St. Louis encephalitis virus, Zika, West Nile, and the presence of Wolbachia in some of these somatic tissues that I've mentioned. Even the president of this company, I just want to quote him, Sid Hines, he said, "It's real strange because it's simple for a whale to get out of the way. They just dive." And Hines said that he and the OceanX fleet are as baffled as everyone else about the situations. He said, "Whales have been there for years, but we never heard of this before." So, unfortunately, I'm seeing posts on social media saying it's all about greed and all this. I think we shouldn't jump to blaming the shipping companies. Precisely what I predicted would happen over 6 months ago. Yeah, and quotes, "Scientists aren't ready to entirely blame ships and fishing gear and are concerned that something else might be happening." When this first happened, I remember them saying there's nothing on these whales to indicate they were had collided with ships. And bear in mind, once they're out there floating around dead, they're going to ram into things. So I'm not buying it. Another quote, "They've been concerned there weren't as many calves and that perhaps the whales are in the Gulf of St. Lawrence because their food supplies in other areas aren't enough to sustain them, or that there may be another health factor that is making them more susceptible to other stressors, like ships." Well, if you have encephalitis in any way, shape, or form from St. Louis encephalitis virus, West Nile, or Zika, which are all very similar, then things are going to happen like breathing muscles might seize, disorientation, could be visual problems. There was a young calf that was only a year old that somehow the media thought it hit a ship. Well, these whales avoid ships. Slowing them down isn't going to help. And in fact, I'm going to show you a few facts about them because these whales represent us a little bit.